byproducts of things, but you can train without going anywhere close to failure and still experience strength gains due to the effects of the central nervous system. But it's time for the pistol round, and it's not talk of the central nervous system. Although Disco Dot Plan will be first man, first contact.
Bet you wish you came in more often, eh?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Sign me up for the whole next season.
You can take my place. Go on, Dan. Please continue.
I was done. There was a throw in there somewhere, I think.
Oh no.
I'm done.
What a nice pistol round from GODSENT.
Yeah, they get 3 helmets for cheap as well.
Ooh,
Oh yeah. Wow, that must be nice.
They may get rifles.
I lost it all in the central nervous laughter. Did NIP get the first 2 kills that round, and then GODSENT just won everything else after that? Or am I going insane?
I have no idea.
All right, let's just move on from the pistol round, boys.
The nervous system thing just threw me into another dimension.
Yeah.
The central nervous system. The CNS.
But I mean, like, if you're doing 10 push-ups every 2 hours, why not just do like 15 or 20? Because I don't feel like it's much of a stretch to do 15 over 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how weak you are, I guess. But yeah.
Would 10 push-ups every 2 hours turn man boobies into like
No.
reasonable pecs?
No, because what? Again, you guys, just stop saying this. You guys, it's so distracting. It's very difficult to commentate right now. We missed a very important moment.
Why don't you
NIP
answer the
decided to
question,
force
Dan?
it up. They got an AK in there.
I thought we just asked Dan a question
and the
about
round
the central
failed.
nervous system
Dan, answer the
every
question.
time
Come
action
on.
comes up.
Well, I mean, if you're worried about the moobs, right, the man boobs, then you probably have a body fat issue as well, or mostly. Well, there could be a degree of gynecomastia, as it's known, as a scientific term. That's where you may need a surgery. If you have a lot of breast tissue, then you may need surgery to remove that.
The good thing about push-ups for me is that I'm so heavy that I'm gonna get wedge. I'm gonna get wedge immediately.
Ah.
Well, that's a good 2 rounds. Central nervous system and surgery to remove man breasts.
All of that aside, GODSENT finally, after 2 rounds, solidifying their economy. It's quite nice.
Oh, look, it's Nico round. We could actually talk nonsense now if we wanted to.
No, let's get into the game.
But I feel like we've overextended ourselves a little bit. And we should probably say something of note in this pistol round. Go, Jason.
Dan, what's a good exercise for someone to do in their bedroom, maybe during an eco round?
Pistol squats.
Pistol squats?
Yeah.
What is a pistol squat?
Are you saying that just because they only have pistols on eco rounds, or is that actually a good exercise?
That's actually, I didn't even draw that connection, but no, it's probably one of the best leg exercises. It's probably like the best bang for buck.
What is it?
It's just like a squat on one leg.
What are you doing with the other leg?
You hold it out in front of you.
Okay, it's straight.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Use some degree of hamstring flexibility for that.
So how many would you do on each leg? During an eco round?
Depends on your level.
That's not an answer. I need an answer.
It definitely is an answer.
No, it's not. It's not a useful
I mean,
one.
for some guy, it might be super awesome, and he can probably do 30.
People need numbers. Give us a number.
Give us a starting point.
Give us a number for the
one
average.
is the starting point. Most
One.
people can't do 1.
Really?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Right, 1. Let us know if you can do that next eco round. Tweet us.
If you can do pistol squats.
Listen, I'll do 1 pistol squat next eco round.
Nice.
All right. Well, it's buy time. NIP are moving to clear out the upper B area, but GODSENT are moving to clear out it as well, and they will prevail for the most part. Forrest is still there. No, he's not. He's underneath it. Radar for you. So this round may have been crushed already. There's a minute 30 though for NIP to perhaps play for picks.
They don't have a lot of utility as well, so it's going to have to be. You can see Forrest was trying to get aggressive. He wants to like find a duel, find something sneaky outside, and he's still going to look for that. He bailed out when he saw the shot, or when he heard the shot come out, because he thought he'd been found out. So at the moment, it's all about who's going to find space for the rest of NIP to work with, and it could be Drake, and although he gives up that angle as they retreat into his crosshair, which is unfortunate. And I think now Twist is going to start hearing these footsteps.
So Draken flashed out to make the play. Really important position to hold on to, and he's not going to be able to do so. Twist shuts him down. And now it's looking rather grim for Mr. Forrest, who finds himself alone.
I do wonder how many kills, or how many deaths rather, GODSENT have taken. Getting this round. 5, right. So 3, no, sorry, 5. It's not bad. I mean, their money's spectacular already. Round 5, and you've got CTs of almost $10,000 and an AK. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, the key as well, it comes out to be how many kills or how many deaths have they taken of players who've invested in like something actually, like all the rifles and all the nades and everything like that. And I think this round, NIP only got 2 kills. So outside of that, it's been 3 deaths with rifle bots.
Nice.
Back to the pistols, then do the squats.
Pistol squat time. Will that give me a nice arc?
It will help. Definitely think it's like a fairly quad dominant movement, but it will definitely help.
I have great legs. It's my upper body I need to work on. Well, here come the flashes from Exit. What is the smoke for? The smoke's been deployed as well. And that's the end of the round.
I mean, this is you had it right to highlight it. The economy is so strong for GODSENT that that's going to be the real battle for NIP in this half. Because even if they win 1 round, they probably have to win 2 more after that. They have to win like 3 in a row at this point to grind down the economy. So even in losses now for NIP, you have to start, even if they get like just bombarded and just beaten up, you have to start looking at how many kills they're getting in some of these rounds. Because you can still say there's a certain amount of success if they get 3 kills and lose a round.
I feel like it's better though, at least, that they're on a T side. Because if you're on a CT side with these issues, then it is much more significant. Well, it's still a significant problem, but it's compounded. If you are 0-5 on the CT side and not getting kills, it's a really big issue.
Yeah, I can see Dennis just going for a pretty, well, very aggressive play there with the AWP alone as well. And you can see that I think he was essentially caught out of position. He was still moving or trying to move further forwards. Didn't expect Draken to be so quick. LIP going for a straight up B play with this. They're on a 5v4. GetRight's got a good position on the high ground. Pretty good execution. And we're going to see that GODSENT don't like the look of this retake. And it makes a lot of sense. Even though the NIP don't control the majority of the B train yard, it just doesn't matter. And this will make life even harder. I mean, this is what you're talking about, Jason. We have to take into account how many kills that NIP get on the rounds they lose, but even on the rounds that they win, if you have a situation like this where GODSENT are going to save and actually keep, if they actually keep 3 alive, that's massive for GODSENT. And wow, how does Freddy B get that kill? Forest.
Forest is not having a good game so far.
No, he's not.
Got 0 kills.
There are 2 players with 0 kills. That might have changed in this round. Yeah, I think GetRight was the other one that had 0 kills, so he's up there with 1 now. But yeah, you're exactly right. And this is such. I really like this decision from GODSENT because this is going to be essentially an extra Byron normally having to invest in 2 weapons, and they keep the AWP as well, which is quite nice. So NIP, even with a win, don't necessarily gain as much as they would have liked from that round. That's just a pretty aggressive. Pretty just kind of contact towards the inner bomb, so you get that 1 kill and then you just swing in through the counter nades coming out, catch the defense off guard, and it happens so fast that GODSENT, I mean, even if they had wanted to go for that, even if they didn't make the save call, they're so far out of it that it just would have been near impossible.
I do want to see if there can be consistency for NIP's T rounds when GODSENT are going super aggressive on them. And speaking of which, Freddy B's going to have a fantastic time of things on the inner side. Disco Doplan might just find an opening. Looks like Exist will be spotting that out, though, through the smoke. And GODSENT will go 1 for 2, which, again, is pretty damn good, especially with all the information that was just gathered. They spotted the bomb there as well. And NIP looking like they want to commit. Oh.
Hello.
I can only assume NIP were expecting 1 in B that round, maybe. We're trying to split it very quickly, but
I think it's one of those rounds where you try and give them different looks and box hauls throughout the course of a half and over the course of a few rounds. And that was one where GetRight obviously wanted to be very, very greedy. He's not going to be doing that every single round, but he wanted to get out upper ramp very, very quickly and try and surprise someone.
Well, now they'll try to clear out the site, which is not really in their favor. Neither are the numbers. GODSENT, I think they may have just done too much too early in that round for NIP to claw it back.
Maybe there was a chance, but Schneider's defense there was really stunning. Very, very decisive.
Yeah, that second kill.
Yeah.
I don't. That's the only explanation I can think of for why Get Right would just have his knife out jumping around the corner. Is that he just that was the round where he just said out of spawn, I'm gonna get greedy. This is what I'm gonna try and make happen. And obviously, you know, if he gets there and it works and he gets that upper ramp very very quickly, because sometimes there is just that one player there, and you know, even if they spot someone crossing, you know, the lower ramp, you could still sometimes beat them to a good position depending on the route they take, depending on the spot they want to fall back into. So, calculated risk for Get Right. That obviously doesn't work out.
007 on Forest. Special Agent Forest.
Not ideal.
Nope. Yeah, so I wonder also if NIP was sort of leaning towards that approach, just because that's how they were able to win their only round was a B attack, but they did get a pick off first in that round.
Yeah.
And then play the 5v4 with that B aggression. So that is a big difference. Twist looking to catch, and he will. Get Right falls into his mitts.
Oh no.
Is he on tilt or something?
Forest?
Yeah.
I think.
No, I mean
Get
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah.
Even that round, it's like very confusing. That's nice from Drake though to get that kill on Twist.
Much needed. GODSENT will not stop being aggressive. They'll be heard though. See a T above them. Rez has got to quietly collect the bomb before the CTs continue their march forward, should they choose to do so. Seems he will peek. He notes he has. He's peeking before he picks up the bomb.
It's going to be very curious to see what threat or what NIP decides to do. Nice. That's a lot of space he's been given. He's put him right back into this round, actually. And actually look towards upper ramp in the B bomb site. Maybe this is why Get Right wanted to do this kind of aggression in a previous round. He's found some space. This exists, just walking the whole way up. And he's probably so confused as to why no one is here. Now there is going to be a fast rotate up ladder, obviously, as we see. There is going to be one in CT spawn. And it's all down to timing. If Rez gets killed here, the round's over. And I think actually the round's going to be yeah, it's pretty much done, it feels like here.
No grenades for the CTs though. So that smoke will go beyond the bomb. So it's still doable. But I think NIP don't really know where the second CT is. It's got to move. Oh, no, that's so close. But it's 10 seconds, the bomb has to go down.
That is some very, very critical timing. And now, with this situation, Draken with the AWP's in a great position to secure this. But as I say that, he does get tagged down to 17. He's to be careful on these peaks. This exists, though, to take down Freddy B. He'll claim his head. But there's one more to be sent to the guillotine. Can exist, find him. Looking for it, and it's Dennis. Using that ladder, using the top of the train to secure the round. Another one for GODSENT. They're looking pretty damn good on the CT side.
What I wanted to say, it's going to be interesting to see what NIP is going to do in the future gun rounds. They obviously can't really buy too much here. Probably small investment in some pistols and some armor. It's so hard as a terrorist team to prevent the kind of aggression that GODSENT is coming out with at this point. Like it's so hard to set up properly to do anything, because you have kind of two options, and one of them is to do like the fast kind of contact aggressive plays to make sure that that aggression can't really catch you off guard, or to just sit in a default and spread out and watch everything. But that's kind of where, you know, you can punish the aggression, but then it just comes down to the duels. Are you going to win that fight? Are you ready for where the aggression is coming out? So you know, NIP is going to have a choice to make in this next gun round, because, I mean, the previous is GODSENT getting 2 kills to start things out. You're not going to recover from that too frequently.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good point about what NIP are dealing with.
It always, like, when you're in, like, our seat, you can always feel like you find the answer, but it's so much more difficult when you're actually playing the game to come up with that.
Some damage here. The bomb plant will be important. Some extra grenades for their buy. Forrest doing as much as he can, but the inevitable will be this time 8-1.
That's a huge win, especially because they got 4 kills in the previous round, and now they get a plant here, which is going to make their buy next round even stronger, and they get 3 kills, so you start grinding some of the money away. I mean, there's still a lot of it on the GODSENT side of things, just a tribute to how well they started this half on the CT side. But at least you're starting to grind it down. At least you're putting them into positions now where you can really capitalize on maybe just 1 or 2 round wins instead of the 3 to 4 it might have been.
Double AWP here from NIP. Forrest used to be a player that did pick up the AWP on T sides. back in the old days, you saw it very commonly. But to see how well it goes here, it's awkward to say the least on this map, but that's a fantastic pick from Draken. Oh my goodness.
That was a really tight one.
Yeah, that was really solid.
And maybe Get Right's running around in early rounds helps that happen. Does he dare? It is a risk. Not one that necessarily needs to be taken right now. So not much else is really working for Forest at the moment, which might be why he goes for the second AWP on the T side.
It's always awkward though, isn't it? I mean, even if you get the pick, which they did, it becomes harder to move in with that extra orb.
It's a great trade. There's the key right there, and they're still playing ladder room, so that can still be dangerous. If it's so important that the player above ladder actually survives at the moment. And Twist is holding this down really, really well. Freddy's still creating a second front for the battle to be waged, and there's the second op on Draken, or the first op, and it goes down. And now, yeah, I mean, GODSENT has just kind of stopped NIP in their tracks.
Yeah, Freddy's position was so important there because Get Right couldn't go around E-box and trade his teammate getting dropped because he knows Freddy is in that position. And now Freddy is still there, and he's still being a problem. 30 seconds left, one-on-one. Get Right around main. And we may just have a meeting of the minds here if Freddy goes for the peek. Oh, and catches Get Right with a grenade again. Down to 28 HP, he's still alive. Slowly creeping back, and he's going to go through the smoke, isn't he?
No,
he's going to go through the smoke. 10 seconds remain. Beep, beep. He knows.
Oh, nice. I don't think Get Right's going to expect him to have crossed so far. And indeed, really nice timing. Freddy B realized he had a very specific window of timing there to make that rotation, or that positional change.
He took a lot. He took a lot of ground with that push. That's actually sick. To outplay Get Right in that situation, but that's like the main crux. You'll remember, I mean, teams have kind of, I don't want to say they've figured it out, but they've gotten much better at it. Where CT side train was like so dominant because every team, as soon as it got someone in ladder room, like no one really knew what to do, and this is why you've seen all the different ways to kind of take control of it. I think Liquid is now doing that stack where they drop 2 players down ladder, and I know Glaive likes to just throw a flashbang straight down and just drop on top of it.
Yeah.
And there's the Molotovs, the behind the ladder room, and then you force them out. So there's so many different ways, so many different creative ways that teams are coming up with to take care of that position, because that's what happens if you go towards the outer bomb site and there's a player living inside ladder room on the defense. He creates so many problems because it creates a second angle they have to worry about. It disconnects, you know, whichever players you have above ladder from actually getting to take part in the attack. So it's such a critical position to hold for the CT side, and it can bail you out of even the most tough situations.
Freddy B stood there for most of the round, and a lot of his impact was not even getting kills there, as we mentioned, when Forest was taken down towards main by a player around the bomb site. Get Right couldn't trade because he knows Freddy B could pop out, could have a crossfire with his teammate. So by merely standing there for most of the rounds, he compromised NIP's position, compromised their ability to trade frag, and then ended up winning round from there as well.
Yeah, even after the initial trade when they got out of Ivy onto the, I think it was the Opera that was on train. I think it was Disco, I believe, had it, or Twist had it. Even that initial trade, once, you know, he's still alive in ladder room, and there's one player that can't get down, there's one player that can't get out of main. At that point, NIP is so spread out as well. Like there's not even a chance for the trade to come out. There's no 2 players that are even next to each other to make things happen, because they're all trying to take different isolated fights, and they all have to worry about ladder room. So there's basically like one plane of existence that's just denied to them.
If NIP lose both of these matches, that could cost them a potential playoffs position. I haven't done the calculations, but it certainly doesn't bode well, because we thought they were out of the running. Then they had some good results, and it still looked competitive, but maybe this will change things if it continues in this fashion.
Yeah, it's just heartbreaking so many of the ways that they lose these games. But there's still a chance of the comeback. The challenge is Schneider. He's been really good in these positions, and in fact, the team kill will assist the defense here as GODSENT are able to do pretty good at the beginning of things, but Draken quickly turns the tables with the AWP work, and now it's resting on the shoulders of Dennis. Oh, I thought that he was gonna find that shot. Oh man, the tease. A whack-a-mole. Oh man, poor Dennis. Oh, insult added to injury there.
That's perfect though. Look, 'cause look at the money now for GODSENT. I mean, this can still turn into a pretty good half for NIP, all things considered. As much as dominant as it's looked for GODSENT, they had the one-on-one that Freddy won, and then they had I think they had 3 kills in the next round, and then this last round came into a one-on-one again. So I mean, they've been grinding away at the economy. I mean, this buy for GODSENT is going to be the last one they have, despite NIP only winning 1 actual round. So a good chance if they can win this round, they have a good opportunity of getting up towards 5 or 6 rounds, which is a pretty good half, all things considered, on the T side.
Can they, though? We saw what was required to win that one.
Yeah.
Individual performance from Draken. Some nice reads on the
Flank.
on the and the positioning of the CTs, jumping over the smoke.
If you can get 5 to 6 rounds with Forrest and GetRight having 4 combined kills, that's good. That's good in my book. I think I give him something.
Was it Forrest who team killed GetRight?
I think it was the other way around. I think it was GetRight that killed Forrest.
Okay.
So 5 kills.
This time the numbers game doesn't work out for GODSENT. I thought they'd go back to business as usual. Oh!
What's happened? There's 4 players dead in like 2 seconds. What is going on? Rez with another kill there into the A-bomb site, and all of a sudden, you blinked, you missed it. GODSENT have 1 player left.
That's a round where GODSENT is just like counter-stratted, just a blind counter-strat, which is unfortunate. Like, NIP was doing a fast outside split, and GODSENT wanted to have that flashbang set up. They wanted to just pop flash as soon as they heard a footstep, as soon as they had like some kind of timing, maybe looking at the clock even. And just the fast turn of the corner essentially ensures that, yeah, GODSENT had 3 players towards Ivy, but one of them had a nade in their hand, and none of them are ready for that swing out. So trade doesn't go their way, and then obviously the portion of the attack that went out mid-fast was Rez, who got up on top of the train and is able to get that 1 kill with the player with his flashbang in his hand. So probably feels a little bit like a kick in the groin.
Yeah, and it's come to this.
Opportunity knocks. Opportunity knocks for NIP. This is a, I think pretty much every match at this point is a must-win for them if they want to make it to the foam party in Mexico.
I hope Doja makes it to the foam party. I would love to see that. He likes pulp in his orange juice.
I bet he does. I like chlorine in my foam parties. Lots of chlorine.
Well, it's just a matter of time here. NIP bearing down onto the B-bomb site, ready to set up the push. Set us up the bomb. And there is Rez doing the RPK. For me, it's really like RPK is like that iconic guy. He just runs on the high position there on the inner bomb site and just kills everyone with the AK. To me, that will be the RPK forever. And that's 4 rounds for NIP now. So they have recovered. There is a recovery, and if they're able to get the remaining 2 rounds, things look pretty nice and dandy moving into that CT side. Especially considering how things have started here for NIP. I hope that you know, if we were seeing some tilts from GetRight or Forest, that's calmed down a bit in light of the success.
Oh, Draken going for a heady play, charging into the middle of A with the AWP. And it's not going to work out for him. Down very early. And maybe things will slow down a bit as play's been lost by both sides. It's nice to see GODSENT playing well, which is not something we've seen so often.
It is cool, especially after, you know, obviously not qualifying for the major, when it was like Dennis's first time not qualifying for a major where he's been on a team. So you like to see that. This is going to turn into a series of duels. Who's going to win them? And Twist, that's an awkward time. Oh, that's a sick repeat.
Such a fast shot there.
Yeah, both teams pretty much out of nades, so it does come down to a certain degree as the fight. Forrest with one. That's the bomb down towards Ivy, though. And now it gets really, really difficult for Nip.
Need some one-shots here from Exist. Trying to use the smoke there to cover the bomb. I'm not sure if it's deep enough. We'll have to see. Exist has so many players to worry about in this position. They're spamming the bomb. Oh my god, you have to take your life in your hands. And his life will be crushed.
There was no winning in that situation, was there? I don't think there was anything he
No.
could have done outside
No.
of 2 kills through the smoke, maybe.
Yeah. And now it means that NIP can only get 5 rounds best case.
I mean, when you, at a certain point, when you're sitting at 1 to 9, you would love to have 5 rounds, 10.5 though. So it would still be a very, very good recovery for NIP if they can actually make it happen. This is a very good buy from them. They have everything they could want. They have so much nades. They have the AWP as well.
You need to avoid losing a man in the first 20 seconds.
Yeah, there has been a trend. And it may continue. Yes, it will. Twist gets a nice catch throw onto Rez. No pop flash or anything for the position. Should someone be holding it, and with all the utility that they had, it's a shame. I think Gero was in position to be able to throw something. And look at this. GODSENT will take this as an opportunity to apply aggression. And with so many rounds in advantage, this is a beautiful risk to take, and it could end up winning them the round.
Get right on.
That's the bomb up there as well. If he's seen the bomb. Oh no, oh no. If he gets the kill. Oh my god. This is bad, guys. This is bad for NIP. Oh no.
Oh, what a dick. That's so cruel. That's now, yeah. And now it's just cleanup. And the tough part is if you die, who was that came back to get the bomb? Was that
I think it was Forrest.
Was that Forrest that went? Like as soon as he makes that call, as a dip player, you're just like, God, you know, we can't win. We can't do this.
Yeah.
And that's when you just have like no conviction and no confidence in the fights. You're just kind of going through the motions. And I don't even necessarily want to say that's like I don't even know if I'd call that like a rookie mistake, because I mean it's still pretty early on in the round, right? It's not like they did the execute that's 30 seconds left and they don't have the bomb. That was like he just made that flank so early on that he catches him off guard, because it's very common to leave the bomb like far back so it doesn't get punished. So you can still put it to either bomb site. Yeah,
no, I think it's definitely credit to GODSENT for making a really smart play, because again it's like a spot where, you know, you're 10 to 4. Like the worst case is 10 to 5. You know, taking a big risk there is very justifiable, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a really good risk to take. And now it's back to the pistols. NIP, a team that, you know, has a bunch of great pistolers, so they'll be looking to try to close this down, but you can't say that GODSENT doesn't have a bunch of great pistolers. They may even have a better lineup when that's concerned, especially with the likes of Dennis on the team. Forrest there sandwiched, and that's not going to do him any favors.
Draken better hit these shots if they want a chance to get back into it. There's a miscommunication somewhere. Forrest is probably frustrated that he was getting shot in the back, and Draken has a triangle of death around him, and he's fighting his way out slowly but surely.
Yeah, Get Right was around the E-box position, at least after Forrest went down there. That's a great one-tap from Rez. Talking of pistol players, I've seen some explosive stuff from him. 2 versus 1 now. Doplan's got the bomb, trying to keep it a 1 versus 1, repositioning. We'll see where he goes. But yeah, it seemed that Get Right was probably supposed to look at main, so don't know what happened there. But there's still a chance for NIP to win it, and they've got to win this.
If that's truly the plan, it's like not a good plan in my opinion, just because that's such a tough angle for Get Right to not necessarily hit the shot, but to stop them from swinging wide. Like it's such a narrow choke point for him to watch that they can very quickly get to have a free shot at Forrest.
Yeah.
Can Disco Doplan really do this? Oh, he's been spotted now. Now things get awkward indeed. He is able to survive though. Doesn't even really take too much damage. And now he's committed to planting the bomb, but he will die. And I have a question for you, Jason. Are you a PT1000 or a USP man?
Oh, I'm a silence.
A USP man.
Yeah, USP. I forgot what it was called for a second. Yeah, USP. always USP.
I really want someone to say PT1000, and then I want to hear their argument for it, because...
Doesn't Shox use a P2000?
Yes. I think he did for a while.
Yeah, I think he does.
He has that like iconic pistol run on Overpass where he's using P2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Cash as well, I think, on the A site, right, from E-League?
I went through a phase where I like deathmatched with the P2K for like a day straight. I really wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, I really wanted to be a P2000 man at one point.
Yeah.
Same with the Silence M4.
That extra bullet, man. That extra bullet. The problem is that the increased accuracy is just so powerful. even though it's I guess marginal.
I think part of it as well is the USP just fits my personality. Good kills from Rez.
I'm trying to interpret this statement.
Well, it's like, you know, during RPGs, I always play like the assassin classes. I don't like playing like the tanky classes, so I feel like that's kind of the.
So you're a stabber.
Yeah.
You're a backstabber.
Absolutely. Never to you though, Dan.
Nice. Well, it's time for the eco. NIP into some good money, trying to get the start that GODSENT had. I do wonder actually whether GODSENT will be able to have a good T side, because even though they looked so strong in the first half, you can often see with certain teams that they'll play like a much weaker side. Like that's very, very possible.
Was the case with Overpass, right? It was pretty good CT sides from both teams.
And the T side, like on Overpass on Train, is definitely a bit more complex. GODSENT just running into all of the rifles of NIP. So that's that. We can close the book on the boring rounds. The eco is done.
I like books with pictures.
And now it's time for the AKs. But like pictures you color in, like pop-ups, pop-up books, you like those?
Those are two different types of books. But graphic novels. I bought a friend a graphic novel recently. I told her, I'm sending you a graphic novel, and she said, are you sending me a sex book? I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Was it a sex book?
No. 4 rounds between the two sides now. NIP, is the CT side the key for them? That is the question. We see some aggression from them as well. Get right investigating main, sees nothing. Dennis is maybe looking to add some pressure towards Ivy a bit later on. He's got a passive position, maybe expecting some aggression. Not going too crazy. So, GODSENT, they've shown some presence above B, and it seems Dennis will now do the same towards Ivy.
Oh my god.
In the face.
Get right is so... That's so frustrating.
I would be raging.
I actually don't even really know how Twisted got that so quickly. That was like... It seemed like he was at... Like, as he was falling. That's pretty deadly. Either way, there's still 2 players inside, so NIP can pretty much still recover from this. Great kill from Rez, but Force had to get something there. And Rez certainly couldn't fall to Disco in that fashion. Nade is going to come out.
Okay.
Doesn't hit anyone. Not even close.
Not even close.
But
like
you built it up. You built it
yes,
up.
Oh. It's excitement. It's hype casting.
This is not a good situation for Nip. Also exists body will be exposed because the smoke grenade was not on the ground. I don't know if you recognise that, but it cost him. It would be interesting if there was a reasonable way to deliberately set up grenades like that. For a T side, mainly, obviously.
Set up grenades like what?
There was a smoke grenade between 2 trains, which wasn't on the floor. So
that was a little bit raised up, so there's a gap underneath it?
Yeah, so you could see CTs moving around behind it. Maybe worth investigating. At some point, we'll bite off grenades perhaps. 5-round lead now for GODSENT. There is a buy here for NIP, and they're making it work so far. That's the bomb, and 3 kills. No answer yet from the T side. Forrest continues to dance, and it seems the CT side is where he will find his kills. 1 minute 20, and Twist is like, where have you all gone?
Yeah, that happened quick. That's unfortunate. Great round from Forrest. Double kill for him. Really controlling close to that T mid choke point. Didn't seem like GODSENT really did a great job of, even when they got out of the choke points, of actually clearing down some of those lanes and clearing out some of the big positions. So Forrest was primed to make a play there. Works out quite nice, especially when you add in the kill from Draken with the MVP at range. And Twist has a lot of time to consider whether you can actually save an AK-47 for over a minute.
I miss the days when Forrest was just smashing everyone.
I mean,
like
he...
really, really just killing everyone.
To be fair...
He still does.
Yeah, he has been doing a pretty good job of it.
He is still good, but I feel like, you know, back in the old days, there weren't nearly as many players close to his level.
You know, I played Forrest at his first CPL.
Nice. How'd that go for you?
He wasn't as good back then. He was, you know, just getting into things. He had a teammate. He had a teammate that completely wrecked us, though.
Who's that?
Tentpole.
Oh, Temple, yeah.
And if you always ask like some of the Swedish players like Temple, remember talking to like Karn before he even picked Force and Temple up. I was talking about IRC back in the day.
Tempole's the best name ever.
And he just goes, dude, there's 2 Swedish players that I'm about to pick up that are going to be like the future of Swedish Counter-Strike, which was crazy to me at the time because Swedish Counter-Strike was like disgustingly good. That was like when SK was, and then like NIP, it was just like those guys, or it was SK at the time, was just going to win everything. Like they were always the favorites. And I was like, who are these guys? And he was like, Tentpole and Forrest. And he was right.
It's a shame that we lost
Fair
Temple along the way. Somewhere.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy how many of the old school Swedish CS players are still involved in esports in like some way. Like a couple of them with gamers.
Right, right.
But like they're all like behind the scenes doing something, right?
Oh!
Hello.
Rez is not behind the scenes. He's getting up in everyone's face. And speaking of which, another to fall to his AWP prowess. And the round will soon after disintegrate before GODSENT.
That's beautiful.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome. Double ops continue. Rez and Draken. Normally see the second AWP on Forest. It's always nice to switch it up and see what other players can do. They've got GODSENT on pistols for this round. P250s for the most part, not a single grenade. So while Twist focuses on those windows, I do wonder what the actual plan is here for GODSENT, because again, they've got no grenades whatsoever.
Did you see that clip of Scream trying to throw the HE grenade in the miner?
No.
It was on train. He's coming out of T-spawn with an HE grenade. He just wants like to buy something different, so he throws it up in the air and it bounces off that ledge where the windows are being blown up and drops right back down into his team and knocks like two or three of his teammates down to like half HP in the first 20 seconds of the round.
Oh, that's
I was dying. I was so funny.
That's surprising if you get kicked from the server automatically.
Oh, that's
so much damage.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
That's clean from Exist. Let's see if he can do the same in a buy round. Or versus a buy round. Double offs out for NIP. You got Rez and Draken. Will Rez drop it for anyone, or will he play it? Perhaps he has a spawn.
He's already been playing it. He just got 2 kills on the ramp of B.
Well then, that's the thing. That's the thing
Yeah,
that's
we
escaped
definitely just
my
watched
eyes.
that.
Oh, of course, of course. That was an awesome round.
I thought
That
I was
lasted about 5 seconds as well.
I thought I was the tied one today.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens.
Well then, GODSENT, they've got some grenades this time.
This is an angle and a half from Draken.
That's good
Will he
stuff.
land the shot?
Oh.
Not the leg, not the leg.
But
Oh, awkward.
Oh man, you've got to be so patient. It's very tough, isn't it? Well, it's going to be GODSENT marching down the yard, looking to capture that A-bomb site. And so far, they're making good progress. Good open up from Dennis. And the rest of the CT is pretty much stuck behind smoke. It's only really Forest to offer any defense of the actual train itself. But, of course, they'll concede the front of it. And Schneider will look for Forest.
Look at the flank coming in, though. That's a big kill. But, I mean, this flank behind, I think NIP just has to hit the pause button right now. And they just have to wait for this player to come around T-mid. They know the operas are. I think Exist can probably hear the scopes at this point. And that's going to be a free kill. And that's beautiful for Nip.
I wonder though if he could delay that a little
Checkmate.
bit and try and find the other player behind him, but it seems that they have found him anyway. 5-second defuse and the gap will be close to 1.
I love those checkmate smokes where you like throw it and this is just the round over. And NIP, I mean, will they be able to actually take this one down? That's I can see that happening from this position. I mean, they've got a good bank behind themselves now. They've been grinding it, and GODSENT have not really shown us that they have a consistent answer to opening up the T half. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've only won 1 round, so you don't have like a whole lot of things that you can point to for GODSENT and say this is where they can find their success. And even if you start looking at this buy, even in the timeout, is they aren't going to have utility. I mean, Twist can get an AK and armor, and he'll get maybe a smoke, maybe a flashbang. Disco can have full nades, obviously, but, you know, Freddy doesn't have to have an AK-47 drop to him. So, yeah, they're going to have maybe 2 players with full HE grenade or full nade kits, and then they'll kind of have to scrap some other things together. So it's going to limit what they can do on the map. And I think their only round they've won was actually towards the B bomb site. Was with some nice shots coming into the B bomb site of upper and lower ramp. And if you're GODSENT, I guess maybe you just go back to that and try that again. But last time you did, I think it was the Rez with the AWP who shut them down.
Yeah, they need to really start winning towards Ali if possible, to try to open up the split possibilities into the mid and late round. I think that would be a good starting point. But with the double orbs of NIP, they're going to be holding onto that position fairly strong.
Who's calling for GODSENT these days?
Freddie B.
Freddie B.
Freddie B.
It's a technical pause from the GODSENT side at the moment. We're not sure the nature of the technical pause, but hopefully it will be resolved shortly. I can't wait to play more Counter-Strike.
I really am so craving some gaming. Craving the gaming.
It's been a hot minute since you were able to really sit down at a PC and nerd out, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've been away for over 2 months from home.
Why don't you come in here to this beautiful Faceit office and plug some peripherals in?
I don't have a... I need to buy a monitor, and like a good monitor, and find a sufficiently strong PC.
Okay.
Can't be asked to spend the money.
Yeah.
I could just
Do you
wait.
have one at home? Why don't you let me know, Dan?
My home setup's great.
I have
in London.
a nice gaming PC at my place. I would have mailed one out to you. Next time, perhaps.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, we should get some. We should get LAN set up here. In the James, we should.
I don't want one that's that easily accessible, because then I'm going to be playing all the time. I'm not going to be outside. I'm not going to be.
You won't be able to grip things anymore.
I need balance.
Your hands will die.
Your
wrist will die.
Well, I've got my Switch right, and this is like, considering my hands doing this, like playing 150 hours of Zelda and stuff. I wrecked my arms from RSI.
Have you been practicing your Mario Kart, James?
I haven't played it for a while, actually. I know the major's coming up soon, right? We need to...
Just saying.
Oh, right.
Moses is the undisputed king of Mario Kart. I will say it, but he is cheating. I'm calling cheats now.
Have you played Odyssey yet?
Yes, I've been playing a lot of Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to save it for travel, but it's not working. It's just too much fun.
Yeah, me too. So I'm trying to stop going to New Kingdoms, because I found a list which shows you how many moons there are versus how many you found.
Level,
yeah, there are a lot. Like I think Metro has like 63.
Yep.
Or 60 something, and I've
60s for sure.
I've probably got less than half of them.
Yeah.
And they're so obscure. Like I noticed that one of the taxis had a dome on it that looked like something you could spin your cap on. Spoilers. So I spun my cap on it, and then it took me into another, like, just a completely different place. I was like, it's just, there's so many little things you can find. It's really.
I'm in Metro Kingdom right now, so I'm gonna go find that taxi.
It is awesome. Yeah, do it. It's awesome. Awesome. Anyway, GODSENT, they have resolved their issues. Dennis, hopefully he won't lose more damage to a spreading Molotov, and he won't.
Look at this setup towards inside. This is going to be sick. It's contact. Rez is going to make contact to get that first pick. Where's the peek? There it is from Get Right, and he gets the kill. Looked a little ugly at first, but yeah, now they've pretty much demolished this hit, haven't they? And GODSENT have to bail out.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really rough situation to find yourselves in, to try to like scrap together a plan B here. You just got to win some crazy duels. It's not going to happen, it seems like. But I do wonder there as well, you know, they take contact onto the angle because I guess they don't want to pop flash it, and that could be due to the metagame considerations, because AWPers, like, there's like this weird sort of mind game. Like, is the AWPer on the angle? Or is he hiding, waiting for the pop flash to then peek after the pop flash? So if then you play the contact play, then you get down really far and you crush the AWPer. But if he's facing, then you die. So
throw 2 flashes.
I think
that would be good.
I think you take the pop flash risk.
I think you do, yeah.
Every single time.
I think you really do.
That's not even a question in my mind. But again, that's more on the theory side.
For a round like that, where the objective clearly is to get into the site, I think that it's the only way to go.
I feel there's no round more depressing as a terrorist in probably the entire game than when you have like a heavy inside strategy to go towards the B bomb site, and you get so smashed and you have no presence anywhere else on the map, and all of a sudden you're just like, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single other area in Counter-Strike as terrorist where I feel as depressed as when that occurs.
Well, some warning grenades from NIP, and they will try to counter them as best they can. Get right running back. They can allow the bomb to go down and just play post-plant, focus on not letting GODSENT run through the bomb site as they're trying to do at the moment. Pushing behind these smokes. Dragon's being taken down. We see players around the connector position. Doplan is still there as well, so Exist has to be careful. He does not know what lies around the corner. Be careful with these grenades. And he will go down regardless. Get right, gets the bell run. That leaves no one left as Forest and Rez clear out the remainder. Careful, Forest, 1 HP.
That was a great presence of mind to throw the underhand Molotov there from Exist. I was really hoping he would do it. I was like, he's not going to do this, but I really hope that he will. And he actually did do it. I was quite shocked, but good retake from NIP. And if you're watching this, it's one of the most retakeable bomb sites in the game. If you have a clear passage out of connector at CTs, just wait out those grenades and just take it as a team, and you're often going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of confused why we're just seeing that execute from GODSENT like just now. Like the deep smokes that allow them to get in. Like if you did it with AK-47s and maybe just one op. Because if you have that one op, I think that's the round they actually won, is when they had the op at A ramp, able to pick players off through the smoke, connecting in and trying to go for the retake. So getting spammed in the return is wonderful.
Yeah, they're actually boosting both sides, which is pretty awesome. Don't often see that. Will Draken have the... Will his spidey senses be tingling? Not required, the smoke will dissipate at a very untimely spot there for Freddy B. He's going to lose his life. Will they be aware of Dennis? Well, now they will be. Able to do quite some damage from the green train. And certainly, NIP need to respond in some way, and Twist is going to find even more. This gets awkward now for NIP. Their money can't be in the best position ever. Okay, it's actually in the best position ever.
Well, it actually only lost one round, Dan.
It actually is in the best place ever.
Did you see that round where Rez had the AWP, by the way?
I did, yes. He has one right now as well. And, yeah, GODSENT just not doing enough damage across the board here, so it's going to be fine.
If you're Rez, you just save. I know you have... I know your economy's in the best position ever, but there's no reason to really go for this.
My first couple hours have been pretty off, having an off day so far.
That's all right. It's listen, as is par for the course of the Counter-Strike North America games that matter.
It's true. That is true. A warm up for North America. Well, that's everything tied up, which is great if you're GODSENT, not so great if you're NIP, considering the nature in which they lost an overpass.
This is so sick from Dennis, though. Like, as soon as the initial exchanges go out, he booked it down to that position so fast, and I don't know how Draken didn't hear the call that Dennis was there. I don't know why he had no attention in that area whatsoever. I know it's like a tough spot to clear out an AWPer, especially, but you have to. There has to be some kind of a response to that.
Yeah, he may just have sort of allowed a teammate to say, you know what, I'll just let a teammate deal with this, and I'll hold this position.
I mean, he was fighting elsewhere, so it could be something just as simple as like a communication error where, yes, it was called out and it was said, but it doesn't always click in your brain, right?
Yeah, that you're supposed to be the one dealing with it necessarily. That is a good start from Twist. It's Rez out of the picture, and with that, you have so much freedom. You can run a set piece onto A, onto B. You get all the space to do that on this map, use that man advantage, and you are good to go. It's hard to play it all too wrong. And they're setting up the triple-pronged attack onto A.
Exist is around the corner here. Smoked off for the time being. He's going to make a play through it, though. With, I think it's Freddy who's close. There would be sound cues. Avoids the flashbang. And he may just pick a good timing here. He will, or maybe he won't. Twist of a lovely swipe to take him out. Schneider, though, he can't get anything done around Top Dog, but the space will continue. Draken had to land a shot there. Oh my god! He will eventually.
Wow.
On the second go, but he really needs to land it on the first.
Wow. That was sick.
That's literally the Reddit meme just personified right there.
That was 100%. Hit the hard ones, miss the easy ones. Look at this. Boom. Under pressure, you know you're going to die. You know you're about to die any second.
It just doesn't make any sense.
He should be dead. He should be utterly dead. But he's not. And look at the situation. It's left GODSENT in. 2 rifles and 3 pistols.
Here we go. There's a pop flash. And you see it forces Rez off the angle, keeps him responsible. Good
Big
kill from Rez. And the thing you have to know about Rez there, in fact, I'll hold this fort for now. We'll come back to this as he is going to be trying to hold down the site. And make sure that the T's can't sort of put pressure on the connector. That's his main job at the moment. He just catches the bomb. It can't make his way down onto the site. That is really painful.
It's a really good job holding that bomb site, though. Over to the upper track as well. And yeah, pretty easy for NIP, and that's a buy round from GODSENT, and not getting a plant hurts quite a bit at this point in the game. It's going to be 15-13, and GODSENT's just going to have to buy whatever they can. I think this is one of those. Obviously, this is unnecessarily critical, but I would have liked to see a save round out of GODSENT and just say, you know, you're at 13 rounds, right? You only have to string 2 together, and while they haven't really shown like a great ability to do that throughout this half, I think you kind of hang your hat on your ability to do it right at the end, and you get the best buy possible, and you just play for overtime. But not the biggest deal.
And to sort of quickly make note of what I want to say about Rez is that so Rez got flashed off the angle, but instead of just running to his secondary position, his sort of retreating position, you can see that he stops halfway and starts walking because he understands the spacing between him and his opponents. Like right there, you can see it. And so he has an ability to keep moving backwards, but take a fight. And then once he's gotten that kill and sees there's no immediate trade fragger, then he can fall all the way back. So it's really understanding from your positions what your fallback timings are. That's really crucial.
This is an ugly buy, you could say.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
NIP though, they're in aggressive positions, but they're not in top dog. So if Freddy goes down the ladder, I do wonder what will become of these NIP players. Could really go either way.
Yeah, they need to get in there. They need to just make the decision. There we go. Okay. All good.
Yeah, now they've cut the bomb site in half, so even if GODSENT get out with an execute, it's going to be really hard for him to plant the bomb. And they may just wait out that smoke in main. But they've got nobody actually in main either, so they don't know if anybody's in there. But gambles must be taken when you're at this point.
Yeah, I actually like that smoke a lot. From the CTs into main. We'll see indeed the full set piece come onto the A site now. We haven't seen it too many times from GODSENT, so I don't think NIP are too paranoid about any fakes. And indeed, the push will come in here. And these 4 positions are holding off quite well here for NIP, but they will lose a couple players. But that's a sustainable loss, but that might not be. Twist in from the back, and all of a sudden it's just down to Rez, trying to take his time. But it'll be GODSENT with a very awful buy, picking up the round.
Honestly, if I had seen that round play out the way it just did, I would honestly say that there's like no chance that GODSENT wins that. Like that, just when it gets into that 3-on-3 even, but just the way it's set up, like right when the execute happens, like everything's perfect. NIP, the smokes come over, the Molotov is put into the choke point in mid. I mean that wastes 7 seconds of those smokes. There's not any backup utility. They have all the spacing they need for rifles against CZ. I don't know. They even have 2 players in ladder room. They have 1 on a quick flank. I don't know how they lose that round that much.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
But it still happens.
I'd have to watch that back again just because there's got to be some critical thing that we didn't see on stream.
Well, I mean, three guys get out of main.
Which is fine. You could still contain them there. Like, they're out main. Fair play. That's exactly where you want them.
Yeah, sometimes it can just come down to like one player looking the wrong way at the wrong time, and then everything.
I think there had to have been a kill that came out that forced. Ooh, there's a good name. That forced Draken with the op over towards Ivy to focus on T-Yard. It had to have been that second player that was with him. Good shot from him though. Dennis trying to make a play.
Yeah, that's really crucial to deny anything from that position. It's such an awkward position to deal with. And GODSENT, they don't really have anything going on towards Ali. NIP not too interested in keeping tabs on it either. So NIP with a setup that looks really good at the moment. And with Rez playing sort of just delay on the B-bomb site and not really playing too aggressively, that's also perfect for NIP. There's no grenades left for GODSENT. They've got to do something.
NIP are running all over the place. They're really not sure what's going on at the moment. But Forest will just kill everyone, it seems. 2 players remain. And there's another one from Forest. Freddy now, he's got 9 seconds to plant the bomb versus 3 people. So Forest can commit to this and get himself a 4K in the last round. So this time it will be 16-14 in favor